think I'm next. Good morning, Director and staff. I'm Heidi Sanborn of the National Stewardship Action Council. And I want to say first, we're very excited that the Zero Waste Plan is a thing, because we've always talked about these goals and hitting 75 by 2020, and we don't hit them because we don't have a plan. And focusing on zero waste instead of recycling is exactly where I think the state needs to go. So I'm really excited to hear about that and support that fully. Whatever we can do to help, we'll be there. And I did want to say, playing off the last comment, was about inkjet cartridges. We have a robust remanufacturing industry, or we had, down in Chatsworth, and they're going out of business pretty quickly. We could lose the entire infrastructure because the industry is going to recycling of cartridges and not reuse. And we've got this terrible problem of imported cartridges from primarily China that are mislabeled, and they indicate that they're remanufactured and they're not. And so what's happening is most of what's going to these companies that used to have 80, 90%, something they could do something with and remanufacture, they now can't do anything with it. It ends up being a cost and single-use plastic that gets landfilled. So we want to raise this issue. We're actually bringing it to the Green Guides discussion at the national level. We've got SWANA discussing it as part of their comments. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention that maybe that would be something that AG could look at, since he's really focusing on these single-use plastics, because it is a two-pronged problem. It's what's being made and how it's labeled and where it's coming from. That's the China import issue is totally separate from the fact that we're losing our infrastructure too, because the industry itself is literally going more towards recycling instead of reuse. And so I just wanted to point that out. I'm hearing that some of it is about quality and how the quality of the reprinting after use. I'm not an ink check expert, so I don't know, and it could be totally legitimate. So I just think this is something that needs some attention, because it's a lot of plastic, and pretty much everybody has one or two printers even in their house now, because we work from home. And it's a very visible single-use plastic. And to me, it's a container for ink. So I wonder if it's under 54 or how that would work too. So anyway, just something to think about, and I just wanted to raise it at the public meeting so everybody knows that this is an issue. And then, of course, the never-ending Groundhog Day conversation about carpet. I just want to say, here we are again, 12 years, 13 years after the original bill passed, after 2 cleanup bills passed, after you give and your staff gives explicit, detailed analysis about what needs to be in these plans, and we still get incomplete submittals. My feelings have been pretty clear. I don't think this group can run this program. I don't think their intents are for the Californians that deserve a good program, and I'd like to see it disapproved if the law allows you to. So we're just putting that out there that, we don't want CARE to run this program anymore. We don't think that they've done a good job. We've lost aquafill. We've lost infrastructure. It's just a constant frustration. So, and I am concerned, and I was going to ask you if this is possible to ask a question. I'm getting concerned about the reserves, because my understanding is that there's no reserve left in that program, or other programs we were having to get them to cut back and they had too much money, that they don't have enough. And I'm wondering, can they even make the bills getting paid at the end of March? And I'm worried about our California infrastructure again. So I guess, is there a way to get access to the amount of money they have in the reserves and whether they can pay the bills?
Appreciate the question, Heidi, and we share that concern at CalRecycle. As you know, the statute requires them, when they have a disapproved plan, and we go into the contingency plan, to create an escrow account and to put all of the money left in their account into that escrow account, which they were supposed to have done by January 30th, and they've withheld certain amounts of those funds that they've said are previously encumbered. That's the word I was looking for. Were previously encumbered, but showed us no documentation to that effect. Additionally, as part of their contingency plan, they have a number of task orders with specific dates where they were supposed to disclose specific contracts and other documents. We have not received everything. They have not completed the task orders pursuant to the contingency plan. So CalRecycle shares your concern about ensuring that those providers on the ground in California the infrastructure here gets adequately paid for the work that they're doing, and that we don't destroy the infrastructure. And I think, we share your concerns about the implementation and the amount of money in the reserve and how that money is being expended. So we don't have the answer to this question, and we are working diligently. Zoe's team, the entire care team, 3 or 4 of our attorneys are spending many hours of their day every day working on this specific issue, because we see the success of our carpet recycling program is really, important to this department and to the stakeholders who have invested so much of their time over the last 13 years to make it successful. So, we are within our statutory authorities and limitations doing the best that we can to ensure that. But I just want to assure you that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that those people who are providing the infrastructure here in the state of California are receiving their payments. But the law, as you know, is somewhat limited in terms of the department's authority to step in. So,
Well, hopefully we can help change that, because this is, to me, very concerning that we have a situation where we don't even know how much money is in that account and they're not providing it, and we don't know if our people can get paid. And that, to me, is almost an urgency bill, because we're at the place we've already lost too much infrastructure. And CARE, if you're listening, get it together, because this is really the worst producer-run program that I know of in the world. So congratulations on that. And thank you to your staff. And I'm really sorry that all of you are having to put up with this. I know it's a lot of work and staff time. So thank you. If there's anything we can do to help, let us know.
Thank you for that. And yes, thank you to our staff who are working really, really diligently. Again, our EPR programs here in California are really viewed across the country and the world. And so CalRecycle is really determined to ensure their success. And we look forward to working with all of our stakeholders to ensure that success of this program.
Sorry.